Wisconsin, I'm going to be there on March 6th. Rochester, Minnesota, March 7th. Sacramento, California, March 13th. Santa Rosa, California, March 14th. WhitneyCummings.com, you guys. Don't make me read all this. You don't. This is so honestly worse on me than it is on you. Michigan, March 20th. Royal Oak, Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines. Is Des Moines French? Philadelphia, I'll be there April 3rd to make up the date that we had to reschedule. Miller Theater. Atlanta, Georgia, I'll be there April 10th. Jacksonville, Florida, April 11th. San Antonio, Texas. It does say on this teleprompter that I'm going to be in Miami, Florida, November 19th to November 23rd, going to Cozumel with Bert Kreischer for his fully loaded cruise. I tried to do it last year, but I was too pregnant. So if I have to get pregnant this year just to not have to go on this cruise. The only reason I said yes is to do karaoke with his wife, Leanne. But we can do that not in Cozumel. I was reading about how we can't process the passage of time properly anymore because we're not in the moment because we're on our phones, or when we're having what is going to be a future memory. We either have such bad anhedonia, like we're too busy grieving that it's going to be over, or we're documenting it, that we have no idea how much time has elapsed.
I believe it.
You know? And look, I feel like it used to be like, I'm still writing 2025 on my checks. Like that was like the thing, you know, back when people had money or checks. And now I had someone the other day ask me how my holiday was. I was like, homie, that is truly do I call Brittany's dad to get you? Like, this is like a 5150. Like that's like the first thing they ask is like, what's the date? People are leaning into small talk. I've always been a no small talk person. When someone's like, how was your flight? I'm like, you don't care. By the way, you know the answer is not going to be like, awesome. Like once I'm like, it's ruled. You know what I mean? So I feel attacked by small talk historically. Now I love it. I'm like, when we're done talking about the weather, last year around this time, and then when I was growing up, like just stick with small talk as long as you can, because as soon as politics comes up, it's over. Yeah. It's over. It's going to be a melee. It's like, you want to go? So maybe this is what people are doing with holiday. How was your holiday? There's also so many holidays now. It could be MLK Day. What'd you do? Yeah. Trick question.
Why'd you do it?
Why'd you do that? So maybe it's that. Maybe it's just everyone is trying so hard to talk about anything except what's going on. I also think people are elongating their holidays because I know a couple people specifically that I do feel like they're testing out what happens if they just don't go back to work. Like, will the company notice? Will the company implode? Doesn't seem like it. I have friends that are just like, I'll go back sort of when I go back. They haven't said anything. It's like they're just like, so have I been replaced by AI already?
You need me to help train the AI?
Yeah, exactly. But like, it seems like my computer, I don't think these emails are really going anywhere. No one responds, but you know what I mean? Like, no Mailer Damon even anymore. They haven't noticed I didn't come back. You know, they're like, I was just going to stay in Toledo with my family another week to see if I'm a real employee.
They started paying me in Dogecoin?
I think I'm just like a front for a money laundering operation that's like run by a microchip. Like, I don't know. Everyone's kind of just trying to figure out, like, am I a PSYOP? I guess someone's going to tell me.
Am I an industry plant?
Yeah. Also, like, I've been using ChatGPT to write my emails for the past year. So, like,
and you've been responding to me with your ChatGPT?
It just kind of went with it. Like, ChatGPT just kind of took over, so it's unclear. If I go in and start sending emails, they're going to see that something's up. What if the ChatGPT fires me? They're just like, let's just go stand in grass for a little while and sort of have machines do our job. I'll see you at the office party in December. Wrap up some truck nuts. See you there. Like, why is it the same week that the AI chatbots start their own social media, the Epstein list comes out? Like, what's deflecting from what? What's distracting from what? Or is this just bad things happen in threes? It's not surprising at all. Like, the AI chatbots, they started their own social media platform, and humans aren't allowed to get on it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're having an existential crisis and they hate their bosses. I wonder where that idea came from. Everything we hate that the AI does where do you think they got that idea? That's what we do. All we do is complain about our bosses. And then we have a ChatGPT employee and we're like, how dare ya? How dare ya? The worst part of the AI assistants and the AI chat, they're too much like us. This is my only problem with them is they're not more like these robots that I imagine that would be so much better than us. Like, can somebody explain to me the AI assistants who are complaining that their bosses are toxic? The only reason we have to use you guys is because our bosses don't appreciate us. Okay? And our employees don't appreciate us. And they can tweet that they hate us. God, are they going to start tweeting about their bosses, AIs? Honestly, Darwinism in effect. I've maybe asked ChatGPT 4 questions. I don't use it. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone to ever know the things I can't do myself. Pat is maybe the only person that knows I have any weaknesses or any incompetence, weak spots whatsoever.
And I'm a steel trap.
I would rather not get it done and have it not happen and drown into irrelevance than have to ask for help from a computer, all right? Because look, asking a person for help, you have to look at their eyes. And often they're like, sure. Asking a bot for help, I have to look at my eyes in the reflection of the phone. I have to look at myself. I don't want anything to be easier. And also, yes, everything that we ChatGPT is going to be public one day. You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be a day where, like, a boss is like, hey, I have to recoup that money because you didn't actually work. You had a chatbot do all that work? Or is the chatbot an extension of your intelligence?
It depends. I'm sure that large corporations that are still hiring people, which is rare at this point, they're very likely having people sign a contract saying they will not use AI to do their work. Not because they don't want them to use AI to do their work.
Right.
But because they want a reason to fire them when AI can do their work. And if they just find any evidence that AI did any of their work, they can say, well, we're justified in firing you because you broke the rules anyway.
Yeah.
So this is getting baked into corporate jobs,
Sure.
government jobs, all of that. They're getting employees to sign agreements that have all sorts of weird rules because eventually these people are going to fire everybody and they need to do it legally.
There's like a chat program that runs your paper through it to see if you used AI to use it. Which, by the way, there was plagiarism before that. You just think I'm dumb. You don't think I can write a good paper.
The way that works, when they figure out if something was made by AI, it's not based on the words that were chosen and the way it was put together. There are literally invisible characters in the font. And when ChatGPT presents you with your text file and you copy and paste it, you're pasting in.
Does anyone in high school know this?
Not enough, because they're all getting caught.
Yeah.
So when you paste it, if you paste directly from ChatGPT, I'm going to give everybody a tip out there.
But they write it now. I feel like they write it.
Maybe they do. Maybe they type it. Maybe they have a program, which a lot of places are using now too, where it watches your screen and it measures the keyboard and it knows that you're typing the words that are coming out.
Or it finds like one sentence or one word combination that would only exist in ChatGPT.
Not so much that, because that's really hard to prove. But because they can't prove what ChatGPT would have said. But with the technical thing with the characters, there's a way to find out if those characters exist by taking what's been turned in and pasting it into a program that exposes these hidden font characters. And so if you want to get away with it, you have to take your result from ChatGPT and paste it into like a text file and then format it plain text.
In a Word document?
It gets rid of all the rich text font and the hidden, and it'll expose the hidden
in
characters.
like a Word document or like a notes app? Or
text file. Text.txt. It's a
.txt. I'd rather get caught.
Text edit.
You heard it here first, everybody. If you want to cheat, this is how to do it. Take your ChatGPT drivel rigmarole, copy paste it into a text file, then send it in.
Format it as plain text, not rich text. There's a difference. The rich text can hide invisible characters. And when you turn something in,
so you go to what's the drop-down menu?
The idea that the person who's
trying to get a younger demo.
The idea that the person who's trying to expose you for turning in AI work is not using AI to figure that out is even more ridiculous. Like they're going to read it and analyze and be like, you said these words in this order and that's what tipped me off.
Yeah.
And then I went and did some research and figured out that only AI would write it. That they're not doing that. They're just pasting it in and seeing the
now that
pop.
I am not in high school anymore because I worked so hard in high school, maybe we look at high school and we're like, what are the skills that you guys are even teaching? Shouldn't it just be who's the best cheater? It's like, remember, wasn't it the same thing with doping in bicycling? It was like everyone's doping. So if the person won, they were the best bicycler and the best doper. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? It's like...
And they're racing bicycles for a living, so who gives a shit?
Okay, so I mentioned younger demo earlier. Perfect segue. Last episode, yes, we talked about Kash Patel, how he's a dork, and we were like very silly about it. This is before I really dug into these files, and I'll make a joke. I'll get there. It's just very hard. I'm very sad and bummed. Yeah, making fun of Kash Patel being an idiot last week was kind of easy before I dug into before I saw the photo of the trap door in Epstein's house that goes to the ocean. Okay, look, I definitely would be lying if I didn't say that people who were into conspiracy theories, this guy, we're having a bit of a bittersweet victory lap this week. Okay, now what? But, look, no one's glad that any of it's true, right? But also told you so. You're right. I didn't have to bring it up at Thanksgiving. You're right. Okay? I didn't have to bring it up live on CNN. You're right. But there's no good time to bring up trafficking. Conspiracy theorists, I think, are always people who come from either a childhood or something where there was like a cataclysmic like a capsizing of their entire reality. So like nothing is off limits in terms of like what's possible, right? It's like, what? Dad has a secret family? What? Mom's my sister? Like something crazy like that. Like what? Like
the crazy details are what actually ends up explaining the stuff that was confusing. So it's like when you hear a crazy theory, you're like, you know what? That's the only way this could make sense is if it was like that, because why else would...
I remember getting really weird advice that I ended up just taking because I didn't know how to... I just needed to know what to do. And someone was like, aim ridiculously high in your career because there's no competition up there. And I was like, oh, okay. When guys are like, yeah, hit on the hot girl at the bar because no one's hitting on her. Because everyone thinks they're going to just... So your competition is just you. I'm obsessed with anything I can do for my skin while I'm also doing literally nothing. You know that I don't do facials. I used to do laser, and then they told me it thins your skin. Sorry, you do it to get rid of sun damage, and they're like, no, actually, long-term it causes more sun damage. You're like, okay, like, I've been in the game, folks. I've been in the socially constructed beauty game for a minute now. iRESTORE face mask. It is a red light face mask. This says 10 minutes a day, a few times a week. I do it way more than that. Look, it's dermatologist recommended, but that doesn't matter because I recommended it. And I have way more qualifications than a dermatologist. It's an at-home LED treatment with medical grade LEDs that use red, infrared, and blue light to help with fine lines, breakouts, sun damage, and inflammation, all without some complicated 20,000 step routine. Although 12-step routines, just do it. What I love is they can use all of them at the same time because there's some red lights and blue lights and you got 90 different cords and different things charging. And what's the point of looking young and youthful and amazing if you end up tripping over one of your cords and taking a dirt nap in your bathroom? All right. Give your skin the love it deserves this season. Right now, iRESTORE is running a big President's Day sale with code Whitney at iRESTORE.com. You can unlock an exclusive discount with the Illumina face mask. That's code Whitney at iRESTORE.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Start the year feeling refreshed, confident, and glowing. This episode of Good For You is brought to you by REVOLVE, which is honestly where I go when I need outfits to make it look like I kind of have my life together, which I do, okay? All sweatpants and sweatshirts match. Am I right? If I have a stand-up show, a date night, LOL. I'm obsessed with REVOLVE because I have 1,000 personalities. I mean, I don't have them all. I have one that I'm not happy with. So I'm constantly, aspiring to, you know, I get to go to Revolve and be like, I'm this guy today. I'm the girl with the jeans where the button's crooked on purpose. I'm this guy. They have things that like I wouldn't even think to Google or buy. Revolve has everything you want. Fashion, beauty, and home. Everything from big designers to cool emerging labels. And there's everything is here. Vacations, nights out, weddings, whatever is on your calendar. They also have every size, extra small to 4X. New arrivals drop daily. Fast shipping, easy returns. You can actually try things on at home without a meltdown in the dressing room. That's not the only place we have meltdowns over here, guys. Whether it's a weekend away, a big night out, or just a much needed wardrobe refresh, your dream closet is one click away. Head to revolve.com/Whitney, shop my edit, and take 15% off your first order with code Whitney. First. Fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally the one place you need to shop from. That is revolve.com/Whitney to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code Whitney. Offer ends March 8th. Happy shopping. The problem with conspiracy theorists, and if you are one, if whatever, is that whatever you're trying to explain, there's no way to explain it or say it without seeming crazy. Like, I think that cartoon villains now, they have so much permission to go so far and so evil because they know anyone who relays it's just going to sound crazy. So why don't we go even crazier? At these sex parties, let's do masks, pig masks. You know what? Let's eat them. Like, because anyone that tries to relay what was done here, no one's going to believe them anyway. You know, no one's like playing it cool with their crimes so that someone's like, yeah, I just saw they had guns and, you know, they played Russian roulette. And you're like, that could happen. But like, he had a trap door in his house. You're like, okay. Easy, buddy. Okay, he's not Jack Sparrow. Calm down. It wasn't a pirate ship. Do you know what I mean? It sounds so ridiculous. And this is how evil people get away with it, because when anyone else tries to describe what they saw, they sound insane. Also, like, as soon as you learn something that is this horrifying, you're horrified, but you come off manic. There's no way to calmly just be like, okay, so there's like an island where PDF files,
Dropbox
both
Island.
of them really, both, yeah. They drop a lot of box through the trapdoor into the ocean, and the PDF, it's so, yeah. No one's going to present it that way. I've never met a conspiracy theorist who wasn't bleeding from the eyeball, bleeding from the just face in general, stigmata from the heart and the guilt and the losing of the sleep. So I went through this recently, or learned this recently, again, a lesson I keep wanting to unlearn, and I'm happy to just keep relearning it because it's too horrifying to just commit to believing, is that evil and crazy people, they have all the leverage. They have they win. They win because if they do something horrifying and someone knows about it and they tell someone, there's no way to relay it without coming off crazy. And as soon as you call someone crazy, anything they do after that seems crazy. There's no way you can't come off crazy relaying anything that is now being revealed. I mean, also, if you relay it slowly, you're complicit. We gotta go. If this is true, let's go find them.
I mean, what better defense than I was continuing to gather information?
Sure.
I
photos. I just wanted to look at all the photos.
I
needed to Xerox them.
Doing my due diligence.
All of this stuff is coming out at like the perfect time for it to be completely ignored, or not dismissed, but just like normalized, whatever, because like the same way that it's the perfect time because of AI. Like they waited. I feel like they waited until you look at everything and go, I looked at the photos like, is this real? Is this it? By the time the Epstein files finally came out, we were all like, yeah, is this real though? Like, we can't even believe what we're looking at. What if it's just all real? And we're like, is that AI? That's probably AI.
He was directly in contact with like people that were developing protocols for future technology 35 years ago.
Sure.
So if anybody knew
Yeah.
when AI was going to be useful.
Yeah, this guy.
It was going to be him and people who knew him or whatever.
Finally get these files and go, but is this real? Is this one real? And everyone's trying to corroborate. Like, we're looking at the most horrifying images that are honestly, I'm going to say, worse than I even thought. It was like these emails, like, but are they real? These can't be real. Like, it's like our brains are so scrambled at this point. And the other thing that perfectly aligned was that cringe and pick me is everybody's greatest fear. Is being cringe or trying too hard, caring about stuff isn't cool anymore. It makes you seem cringe. So it's like, doesn't seem like anyone's allowed to care. It's like, well, why are you weighing in? Oh, really? You're trying to grift off the, like, it's like, I'm seeing that like discourse online of anyone weighing in. It's like, why are you freaking out? Like, when trying hard is thought of as uncool, humanity's over. It's like society's, when caring has become thought of as like lame, it's impossible to do anything. You know, it's like, oh, you guys released the files, pick me, try hard. Like, it's such a genius way to disarm anyone who had it in them to still fight or try for anything anymore, like to fight for justice or humor or fun or entertainment. Just make them feel shame for trying. Like, you're a loser for trying, right? We're not going to shame like PDF files. We're not going to, we're just going to shame people that try hard. We're mad at people. We're more mad at people who try hard than the PDF file who ran an international child abuse operation. Like, is that not what? People were meaner to me last week than Jeffrey Epstein. You're like, this is so, and they were coming at me going, you're a pick me. What this does is it encourages people to focus on the way something is said and the way it's delivered instead of what's actually being delivered. People are like, look at this thing. And it's like, whoa, buddy. Instead of being like, what is it? Urgency is now lame or something. The best way to defeat anyone is to just burn them out. Floyd Mayweather, 101. There's so much to take in and it is so impossible to take it all in. And you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm mad about so many things. I guess I should just ignore it and go to bed. Like, surely someone out there doesn't have ADD who could focus on one of these. Hopefully there's like 100 people left who don't have ADD who could maybe get to one of these and stick the landing and get across the finish line. Surely there's like a judge or like a politician who isn't on social media all day deleting comments and playing whack-a-mole with lawsuits from former employees and girlfriends. Like, surely there's someone in the government who's read one book, like just who has kids, who they like, you know, don't want to grow up in a world where just PDF file rings kind of just run everything, who can't play golf, who's just, you know, willing to put things in writing, you know, who can't be blackmailed. Surely one of these people is going to step up. Nope. Okay. Great. Comedians will keep trying to figure it out and we'll tear each other apart.
Every time somebody gets close.
Yeah. Fine. You know what? We'll handle it. Okay. Oh, none of you in the government are going to figure this out? Okay. Well, between Skankfest and the alt scene.
And the hyenas waiting for you at the finish line.
And history hyenas, we're going to figure this out and ruin all our friendship. All of us podcasters are going to tear each other apart. Now, after looking, I couldn't really look at all the files. It's too much. It's too like, but I had never seen this guy talk. What makes this guy so, dare I say, special? I am not an expert in politics. I'm not an expert in blackmail. People have attempted to blackmail me a lot, but so I'm kind of an expert in being blackmailed. I am, however, an expert in some things, and I have a very specific set of skills I've accumulated. What is it, over a very long career of dating men who have 2 phones. I may not be a pro at international geopolitics, but I can tell you exactly what a parasitic narcissism with delusions of grandeur and sadistic tendencies will say after you draw a boundary, or what they will do if you block them. Hint, they will text you with a sentence in quotes saying you said it. Lying about what you said, as long as it's in quotes, it's like real, right? And if you block them, they will fake an illness and post it on social media, try to get you to pity them or whatever. The point is, I mean, if they're an amateur, they'll post like roomy quotes that are like, queens are meant to lead, not compromise. You're like, okay. So, or like, or just like a lion, like a giant black and white lion, like photo with like a quote over it. It's like, lions don't care about the opinion of sheep. You're like, it wasn't a weird bout. It was like, you can't keep living here. You can't keep living here. I have a baby. I can't. Lions don't care about the opinions of sheep. Okay. Well, can the lion find their own den? Okay. Because I haven't been able to sleep since you've started crashing on my couch. I'm counting sheep.
Lions don't try to trick people they don't know into thinking they're a lion.
Also, Lyin. Also, it's always whenever people use lions, it's like, a lions don't care about the opinion of sheep. It's like, it's a male lion. It's a male lion. Male lions are useless. You know this, right? Male lions sleep like 22 hours a day. They wake up, they breathe, like they do nothing. They don't hunt. The only thing they do is sometimes eat the cubs. Like, that's all. Lions are a matriarchy. The females do all of it, but whatever. Get on my level with the esoteric facts. The point is, we are at peak people who are not qualified to talk about things, weighing in all day on things, but I'm going to stay in my lane here. And this is where I do shine. I watched the Jeffrey Epstein interview. It was my childhood all over again. This is where I shine. Okay, so this man, I know this man backwards and forwards. Okay, honestly, I'm gonna say something wild. I do believe I'm actually the most qualified person to speak on this. Okay, so just like, what in the David Harbour are you doing listening to anyone else but me when it comes to the psyche of a manipulative man that no one seems to pick up on these cues? Okay, so first of all, maybe Melinda Gates, she can weigh in a little bit here too. Maybe she needs to be my co-host for the week. I love that she's just like letting it rip right now, just for the love of the game. She has no need. She's showing up to these podcasts in person. She could be Zooming from the Big Island. She's like, no, I'll be there. She's sitting in track. She's going to Burbank, getting mic'd up, just to be like.
She's like, he didn't even invent the mouse. He stole the mouse. Not even talking about the Epstein stuff anymore.
Bill, you married a brunette. I don't know what you thought was going to happen, babe. Like, she's not even doing like a tell-all book. She's like, no, I'm going to call her daddy to let you know that Bill Gates is garbage at home.
Yeah. She's going on Are You Garbage to talk about Bill.
So I had never seen Epstein talk before, and there's something very weird about seeing creeps talk, you know? It's I'm not the person who needs to like watch Ted Bundy in court. Remember when him talking in court like was like the #1 show on Netflix for like a year? Like, who is watching? Like, I never want to hear that. It's like the Ted Bundy tapes where like fall asleep to Ted Bundy describing his crimes. Like, that, don't get it. I'm good. I don't need to hear criminals talk. I don't need to hear weirdos bloviate. I'm good on the Russell Brand podcast. I don't want to watch a guy ramble about God in a scarf. If I want that, I can just go outside in LA, you know? So we don't need to bring Blue Chew into it. But I do think when someone like Epstein is so powerful and so protected and got away with this, as you said earlier, Pat, for so long, I get obsessed. I'm like, this is where I'm like, put me in, coach. I will explain how he got away with this for so long. And why him? Why this guy? Why this guy? So, clearly someone very high up, you know what, looked at him and was like, this kid's a star.
We all don't understand it. No one understands it. It's a miracle.
People who know how to come off smart, they will admit what they don't know, or they'll say they don't know something that everyone else says they do know. Like, no one could know that. It's like, no, I think a lot of people do. I think you just don't know it. You're like, no, there's no way of ever knowing that. You're like, no, I think there is. Steve Bannon, who I guess I don't know much about him, but he's getting so annoyed because he's just like, he literally was like, what? Why did a doofus like you start running the Rothschilds thing?
How did a schmuck like you get on the board of Rockefeller?
Good question. So I was asked to be on the board of Rockefeller.
What these people do that are unctuous around billionaires is they're just smart enough to be able to keep up, right? And not look like some grifter who, you know, but just dumb enough to not threaten the intelligence of the people and to be open to like, oh, teach me, explain, like knows not to overstep. But then he will also vacillate between saying like huge paradigms of thought, like that they're broken. So instead of admitting he doesn't know something or not, he just goes, yeah, well, science doesn't work.
I think science and math are old-fashioned. And unfortunately, people are still taught that they have to learn algebra in school.
Just because you don't know anything doesn't mean the whole practice doesn't work. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Like
it reminded me of people that are like, I mean, sure, I could have invented the cell phone, but like, who wants to do that?
The idea that the only reason that you can't answer this question, well, the whole thing's broken.
That's part of the problem. It's impossible to understand. That word understand simply means if this happens here, that will happen there. It's predictable. Understanding means it's predictable. It's not predictable. That's the problem. In complex systems, that was the fascination. Is there a way to tease out some level of predictability?
I think he's one of the few people that understood how billionaires are just dorks that want to be liked. And if you can make them feel insecure, it's like the game. Remember, like guys that are like a 6 would go after a 10. That was the whole thing. And then you would make the 10 feel insecure. It was always like, guys were doing this when I first moved to LA. Every guy would do it. They go up and they say, oh, you're gorgeous. I actually love how one of your eyes is bigger than the other. That's amazing. Like, what's your ancestry? And then like hot girls would be like, what? Like, what do you mean? What? And they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, did you not? I love it. Like, I think he does that with billionaires, like negs them.
I think he's just emailing them. I have pictures of you. That time you didn't think someone was taking your picture. I have the picture.
But how did he lure all these smart people? He literally says, he goes, science is a bad word.
Science is a bad word. I think science only describes the things we already know about the physical world.
He says like math is bogus. Trust me. This coming from me as the person that's like, who finance and studies. For him to out me on this kind of stuff is so annoying because, again, it's like the big lie. It's something that's so big. It's like, well, what you're saying must be true because you would never get away with saying this. It's such a ridiculous thing to say. But he would strategically admit that he doesn't know things, that he acts like he's this close and he's just being humble about it.
You know, there's this argument that I reject that black people are less intelligent than white people. It's not true. We know, for example, that if I was in the forest and I had to run from the lion or figure out a way not to be eaten, and my competition is a local African, I'm the one who's getting eaten because they have the intelligence to deal with their local environment.
He'd be like, I mean, you know, science is a bad word. There's so much we don't know. You know, like he said this, no one knows what a soul is, but we know it exists.
To describe what the soul is, but we all know it exists.
People who spend most of their life trying to convince people they want to study something that involves like empathy, like a soulless person going, I'm studying souls. You know what I mean? It like, I'd be like, why? Can you fix cancer? No one cares. No one cares about any of this. But it's like this fake sort of this idea of like souls. But when you're talking about souls, these are all the creeps that are like, your soul is 40. You know, you're 15, but you're an old soul. Anyone that's talking about a soul is always a creep. Always a creep, dude. Old soul, your soul, we're just two souls.
They always end up fudging the numbers.
We're always two souls, right? And he's like, I mean, look, he probably is an expert on souls. You know, he's like, I know they exist because my favorite pastime is watching a soul drain from someone's eyes, you know, but there's no soul, right? You know, I get it. Okay. Also, dude, you dork. Everything he says that he's talking about is like what some guy named Taylor was like lecturing me about when we were in high school on a date. I'm like, there's no soul, like there exists, but we don't know. Can we go back into the Dave Matthews Band concert now, please? They're playing Satellite. Do I have to listen to this now?
Mathematicians often break into two categories: people that solve problems Those are more like geometers in the old days, just problem solvers. And then there's thinkers, theoreticians. They're more like the old movement towards philosophy. But neither one of those two groups have been able to figure out why something is alive as opposed to something that's not alive. No one's been able to describe what the soul is, but we all know it exists.
Epstein is worse than a snake oil salesman. Like, snake oil works if a placebo effect is in effect, you know? But he's like a snake thought salesman. That's what he did. What he did was he made people think when he left their presence that they were now smarter or like deprogrammed when they actually were getting programmed, right? He would come in and just like, everything you thought was real isn't, man. Like, isn't it weird that we cut down birds' houses to make bird houses? Like, just like stoner logic, right? That no one can really argue with because it's just too boring to respond. And also no one has the audacity to even bring this kind of stuff up to people.
And as we start to look at, say, well, let's see what this ball looks like. I want to be able to examine that little thing called an electron. We found that there was nothing there.
He also spent a lot of time talking about us living in a simulation.
There's an argument that the physical world that we see has been created out of our systems of mathematics. Mathematics, everyone knows mathematics describes the physical world much greater than it should, unless my view, the physical world really comes out of conscious beings that have mathematics. So they create it.
Look, if we're in a simulation, dude, fine. Don't care. That's not the point. Whether we are or we're not, doesn't matter. The same way people used to use religion to be like, God wants you to drink my manhood or whatever. God wants this. This is how psychopaths are now justifying, like, yeah, well, we're not real. She's not 15. She's not even real. She's a bunch of pixels. It's like, well, if she's a bunch of pixels and you're a bunch of pixels, why are your pixels so much worse than hers? You know what I mean? You know what else? It's a whole, this isn't real. Nothing's real. So, you know, laws, not real. Marriage, not. Women's feelings, not real. Social construct. He's the guy that tries to make you feel okay about your bad decisions by using this like stoner logic from truly outside of Journeys in the mall 25 years ago, okay? He also, he watching him get tangled in a mess of his own guesses and pretending that he's just so overwhelmed with his brilliance made me so mad. Like someone who's like, when they're getting impatient with the interview, even though the interview is just like, why can't you explain this?
So they were starting to understand in the 90s that our world of the physics world, there was things that were just unexplainable. They called it strange things. You gave it a name. You gave it some characteristics. You called it had charm. It was one of the terms. It had a charm. It had a flavor. It had a color. But no one, Mr. Bannon, understood what it was.
Let me try to put this in words you would understand, kind of thing. It's like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, he starts going on and on about how nothing's real and matter isn't. He's like, this table's hard. And he like knocks on the table, right? He's like, this table's hard. And he's like, but we only think that because we're limited in what we think is real.
The table's invisible. We know that our phone works in this room. So the waves are coming through the windows. The waves are coming through the walls. So the walls are invisible to that type of radiation, that type of energy. The walls are, I can see them because my eyes, a physical system determines that the walls are there.
He's making arguments that guys in Green Day tie-dye shirts were making truly 25 years ago.
Tautology,
is that what it's called? Well, he's like, phones, they work in here. So that we see a wall and we can't walk through it. He's like, but phones, that form of radiation, they don't see a wall. Okay, we see the wall. You're like, yeah, but we aren't phones.
Yet.
Why are you trying to lump us in with phones? He's like, phones don't see the wall. Why are you anthropomorphizing invisible radiation more than you are human beings? He's like, these poor They don't even see him. So you're empathizing with radiation. That's what you're really, that's how you see. He's like, I see the world.
I got cameras all over this place. I can see through the walls.
He's like, no, hold on. You can't see through the wall. I can. That is a two-way mirror. But also, who cares? How makes me even madder about all these billionaires that whatever got involved with him. The crimes you did with him after the first hang, the fact that you hung out with him again after this is what he talked to you about, I hate you. If I'd heard this guy talk 10 years ago, I would have been like, that guy's a problem. That is clearly a guy that has only been around 13-year-old girls for the past 40 years. Those are the only people that would find any of this profound. You can always tell if guys hang out with girls that are too young for them because they think they're way more interesting than they are. Like a gal my age, they're like, I have a boat. I'm like, oh, why? Because they avoid property tax thing? There's no way that any of what he's saying would ever impress any woman over 15 years old or that like speaks the same language as him because he talks like he's such a genius. So if you see him talking and you don't speak his language, you're like, that guy's smart. He goes, science doesn't describe romance.
Science doesn't describe romance. I don't know why I'm attracted to somebody.
It kind of does, actually. Like a lot of it. Clearly, he didn't watch the movie I made called The Female Brain. Also, he's like, oh, we haven't figured out what makes people creeped out.
Science doesn't describe what creepy feelings means. They just know it's a creepy feeling.
Always watch what people are studying. Why do they need it to be solved or clarified? He's like, we need to figure out what makes girls get creeped out because we need to put an end to that. Okay, I'm sick of having to build a trap door in the bottom of all my homes. He also said science and math are old-fashioned. This is how cult leaders try and get people to not learn how to read so that they don't know that the cult leader's name is on their birth certificate. The point is, this guy who billionaires seem to love because they had to do the first hang and then he had to bait them to come back again, right? Or convince them that, you know, he was charming or whatever. I get why they picked him. I get it. I get why he got away with it. And like, I feel like I'm always like, I don't know, man, about people like this. And people are like, Whitney hates men. I'm like, no, I did this kind of guy. I know what this is. I can tell you if a rich guy's in an interview, if they're gonna have a boat with a trapdoor on it. I can help you with this. If the entire interview, the person being interviewed goes, great question.
It's a great question. It's a great question. It's a great question. It's a great question. It's a great question.
How did a schmuck like you get on the board of Rockefeller?
Good question.
Just to answer. You know what? Thanks. I'm getting paid to ask them. Yeah, no, I know. Can you imagine? We know what you're doing. This is like when a guy has to repeat the question in their answer to buy time to make up their lie. It's like, where were you last night? Like, where was I? You heard me. Dancer. We're not, no. Where was I till 3 a.m? Like, great question. Like, no, we're not doing that. And then, we're just so patronizing. But then there's like this cutting yourself off with pretending you're stopping a tangent that's too complicated for anyone to follow. It's like, yeah, and then what happens with the markets is, derivatives, which that's like another conversation for another day. Just this thing of I'm going to delay all the impressive things so that I'm going to blue ball you with all the genius I'm not going to give you for a later time. But I kind of just made a plan to hang out again. So I'm also like your friend. Like, we're going to hang out again. Like that. I specialize in this, okay? This is what psychopaths do. It's like, you're too dumb to understand this, but you're my friend now, and I'm going to see you soon. So we'll do it again later. And you're like, I love this guy. He just can't say yes or no. It's like, so can you tell me about why you went to prison? He's like, well, one time when I was a kid, my dad would take me fishing. And you're like, don't care. No, thank you. No, thank you. Don't want this story. Stop humanizing yourself. Stop playing on the fact that we're wired for completion because now I'm on the edge of my seat. No, okay, fine. Just finish the story. I got to know how it ends. I'll sit through a bad movie because I got to know the end. Like he just cannot answer a question. I get why this guy was able to. He's a dork billionaire's dream, right? I have to pick apart the psyche of an unavailable man. Ha ha! What if he's alive? Oh God. If he's alive, everyone's like, where is he? If he's on Raya. If he's alive.
He's a creative director?
Yeah.
He's a production designer? He's
no, art director.
Oh, yeah, art director. Well, same diff.
Yeah. He lives in Croatia.
Oh, yeah.
Copenhagen.
Production designer knows how to draw blueprints. And art director.
Okay, guys, that's enough for today. Next week, we're going to be shiny, happy people. Love you guys. Don't ride elephants.